Hi everyone, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to share with you how to foil laser printed images, plus I have a free printable over for you on my blog. Now the printable is this little heart right here with love written into it, just in time for Valentine's Day and to make some quick Valentine's Day cards. Again, this is going to be for download over on my blog. To print this image off, I use my laser printer and cardstock. I will leave the laser printer that I use linked down below in the description box. And I'm also going to be using deco foil. Now there are a lot of different kinds of foil on the market, but you need a foil that specifically will transfer onto toner printed sheets. I like deco foil. It has a nice heavy weight to it, so it doesn't keep any rolled up look like some of the other foils, and it just lays really nice. It's nice and thick and heavy, and it works great. You're also going to need a laminator or a Mink machine. I use the Royal Sovereign laminator. I let it heat up for a while, and I keep it on that 5 mils so it has a good amount of heat. If you have a Mink, you can use that, but I just use a regular old laminator. I go ahead and put in my cardstock with the foil facing the ugly side towards the printed sheet. You want the shiny, gorgeous side facing up, then that is going to go into a little sandwich. What I am using here is a piece of parchment paper folded in half. You can also just use computer paper folded in half as your little folder to send it through. Whenever you're sending this through, be sure to send it fold side first. I learned the hard way that when you send it through with the two edges first, then you're going to get it stuck. To make sure this transfers really well, I like to send it through once going one way, and then I'll take it out, rotate it 90 degrees, and put it back into its little folder and send it through again, making sure that fold is going first. Then when it comes out the second time, it's time to go ahead and remove that foil. Let it cool first, make sure it's nice and cool, there's no heat left in it. Take it out of your little pocket, and then I just like to shake it around a little bit and take that foil off, and you are left with this gorgeous foiled image. I absolutely love the way this one turned out. Now, as I go on, I am going to fussy cut this image out, but I want to give a few tips while I am fussy cutting this image. A lot of things I see online complain about little black spots in your foiling. If you get that, you need to add more heat. You also need to make sure that you are using the right settings whenever you print your image off. You need to change your paper settings if you're using a heavier cardstock and not just plain computer paper. So make sure those things are good and then try and foil. You want that toner to be set before you try and add that foil onto it, and you want to make sure that your laminator or your Mink is hot enough to transfer that foil onto the laser image. Now once I had that fussy cut out, I'm going to go ahead and quickly finish off the rest of my card. I'm using this new stencil from the Crafters Workshop, and I'm using it in a 12 by 12 size. I just want to use that really large fern or leaf right up there at the top, and that's the only portion of the stencil I'm going to use. Now, I love the 6 by 6 version of this as well, but for this card, I'm going with the bigger version. I'm starting off and just ink blending Lime Ricky, which is a light green ink, through that portion of the stencil, and I've also masked off the back of my card base, and I've also masked off to the right side any little overhang where I don't want the ink going through. Once I have a good amount of ink on there, I'll go ahead and lift up the stencil, and then I'll reposition it, shifting it slightly to the right, making just another leaf. Now I am going to go ahead and just remove one of these pieces of tape to tape down the stencil to my cardstock so it doesn't move around. As I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I am blending on a card base, an A2 card base to be specific. I made this card base myself. If you have any questions about how to make card bases, the different sizes, how you should be cutting them, how you should be scoring them, go over to my blog, and in that freebie section where you're going to find this printable, you will also find a download of how to make card bases. It's something you can print off and take to your craft room for easy reference, or I have a video on it that you can check out as well. Now through this Through the second leaf, I am going to go ahead and add some eucalyptus ink. This is also from Catherine Pooler. Using those same blending brushes from Amazon that I use so often. They're awesome. They're for makeup, but I use them for ink blending. And then once I have my ink the way I want it, I can go ahead and remove all of that painter's tape. The painter's tape I am using is a delicate painter's tape from 3M, and it is great. You can find it over on Amazon. That link will be down in the description box below. Now that my card base is ready to go and it has its stenciling on it, I'm going to go ahead and add my little heart. Now for this heart, I'm going to pop it up with some dimensional adhesive. This is just a foam adhesive with sticky on both sides. So you can stick it to your little heart and then also go ahead and adhere that heart onto the card base. I'll put that down in the bottom left-hand corner, give it a little press, and once that's ready to go, it's time to add the final little touches. Now you can leave this love as is. You don't have to add anything extra, but I want to add a little U. I'm stamping that out with the Joy Claire Stamps Hello Sentiment stamp set and Versifying Claire and Nocturne. That's just because I don't like my handwriting. If you have good handwriting, just write that out with a little pen, black pen, and chop it out with your scissors. I added a little bit more foam tape on the back and glued that down on top of the heart so my sentiment reads love you. Now finally, to finish this card off, I'm going to add some of these clear droplets around my heart. I'm using 3, and I'm using my Quick Sticks tool and some clear glue to put that down. This step is definitely optional. If you don't have those, you can also use sequins. You can just add a little bit of Sharpie, metallic Sharpie around the heart as well in little circles. That looks awesome too. But that does it. I hope you guys enjoyed a look at this card and how I made it. And don't forget to go pick up that free printable over on my blog. That link will be down in the description box below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to do that now. Thanks for watching, everyone, and happy crafting.